These are the top 10 things to do in London. Number 1, the West End, aka the Theatre District. Once you reach London, we highly recommend staying around the West End, especially if you like nightlife. It's perfect. But also, it seems to be roughly the center of London, so if you stay anywhere around here, especially next to a tube station, you'll thank us when you can get around the city very easily. The nightlife around here is pretty damn amazing. The West End encompasses Covent Garden, where many theaters are around Leicester Square, a public square full of shops, casinos, and Chinatown nearby, the largest Chinatown in the country. Piccadilly Circus is home to these giant LED screens, and they look pretty damn amazing at night. And it's also home to Oxford Street, the longest shopping street in London. So if you like to shop or be entertained, the West End is the place to be. While here at the West End, we also like to mention that this is home to the best cuisine in the city. You can find anything from cheap Asian street food to money is no object restaurants. Seriously, you can have it all here in the West End, and it's a great place to hang out, even if you want to watch the world go by. Number 2, head to Westminster. Tour the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben, one of London's most iconic landmarks. You can walk along the River Thames, and there are plenty of good photo opportunities in and around Westminster. And if you happen to spot a big giant Ferris wheel, this is the famous London Eye. So what's so special about it? Every famous city has one of these. Yes, you're right, but it's still nice to go around, and the views from the top are incredible. Though it's busy, and you'll need to book way in advance, but the views here are more than enough to make up for it. While walking around the London Eye, you'll notice other attractions such as the London Dungeons, which we highly recommend. It's pretty scary but cool at the same time, and it's also a nice place to chill out with a cold beverage, overlooking the River Thames and Westminster. So yes, definitely a good place to stop if you want something nice to look at. This area has some very ornate looking pubs, and we highly recommend it if you've never been to an English pub before. Number 3, Westminster Abbey. Located conveniently right next to Westminster is Westminster Abbey. This is the famous cathedral where the coronations happen, royal weddings happen, and it's an amazing place to go into. We highly recommend that you go into Westminster Abbey along with St. Paul's, one of the most famous churches in all of London. And it's probably a place that you've seen on TV and in movies many times. To get the best possible shots of Westminster, you'll need to cross the bridge. So over the bridge, you go. And that's pretty much the best viewpoint. Nearby Westminster Abbey, you'll walk through St. James's Park, aka the Royal Park. There's a reason why they call it a Royal Park, because right next door is one of the most famous attractions that people come to see. The number 4 on our list, Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace was the official home of the Queen, although she really didn't consider it home. She considers Windsor Castle her home, but also this is officially where she resided most of the time. Believe it or not, you can actually go on tours around Buckingham Palace, but they're rare and it's pretty expensive. So most tourists generally hang around the gates and take pictures of the palace and the monument in front of it. And they also hang out around for the changing of the guard ceremony, which happens at roughly 11 o'clock daily. But if you're watching the changing of the guard ceremony, we highly recommend that you actually follow the guards down the road because they actually march towards St. James's Palace, which in itself is an attraction, so that's cool to see. Number 5, get a Hyde Park. This is the largest green space in London. It's a lovely park to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city. Right on the side of Hyde Park is the Royal Albert Hall, London's most famous music venue. It's home to the last night of the proms, and if you do manage to catch a prom show, we highly recommend it. Yeah, it's classical music, but it's a fine representation of British society. Whilst you're around here, you'll notice that you're in the borough of Kensington and Chelsea, the richest and most exclusive area of London. And nothing screams fancy more than Kensington Palace, which is worth a look. Number 6, explore the world-renowned museums and galleries of London. This area is also home to some of the city's most famous museums. The Science Museum and the Victoria and Albert Museum, which is also known as the V&A. And our favorite is the Natural History Museum, which is amazing inside and also free for tourists to explore. Madame Tussauds is famously on Baker Street. Because it's on Baker Street, it's also home to the Sherlock Holmes Museum. So if you go to Sherlock Holmes's house at 221B Baker Street, you'll find the Sherlock Holmes Museum. If museums are your thing, you'll also need to check out the city's north side. The British Museum is also located here on the city's north side. and it has the most stunning roof you'll ever see. And the museum itself is pretty damn good, and once again, it's free of charge to go into. If you did stay in the West End, as we said, all the above palaces are within walking distance. Number 7. Camden Town. Camden Market, located next to Camden Lock, is one of the most popular destinations in Camden Town and is known for its unique shopping experiences. You can find various items worldwide, from vintage clothing to handmade crafts and street food. Camden Lock is another popular spot in Camden Town, known for its beautiful scenery and historic architecture. You can walk along the canals and watch the boats go by, or stop by one of the many shops and restaurants. Checking out Camden's music scene. Camden is known for its vibrant music scene, so be sure to check out some of the local bars and venues to see live music. One of the oldest zoos in the world and is located in the heart of Camden Town. The zoo has a wide variety of animals and is a great place to spend the day with family and friends. There is a beautiful park located just a short walk from Camden Town. The park is home to many different gardens and attractions, including the London Zoo and the Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. Number 8. Old Spitalfields Market. Old Spitalfields Market is a historic market located in the Spitalfields area of London, England. The market has been in operation since the 17th century and has played a significant role in the history and development of the area. The market is housed in a beautiful Victorian building and is open 6 days a week. It's a great place to shop, eat, and explore. The market is also a popular spot for foodies, with a wide range of street food vendors offering a variety of cuisines from around the world. Visitors can enjoy everything from Indian street food to freshly baked pastries and artisanal cheeses. The market is also home to several restaurants and cafes, making it the perfect place to grab a bite to eat or a drink. One of the most popular features of Old Spitalfields Market is the Vintage Market, which takes place every Thursday and Friday. Visitors can browse through a wide range of vintage clothing, accessories, and homewares, antiques, and enjoy live music and street performances. Old Spitalfields Market is also a great place to explore the history and culture of the area. In addition to the market, the area around Old Spitalfield is also home to a number of other interesting sites and attractions, including the Christchurch Spitalfields and the Jeffrey Museum. Overall, Old Spitalfields Market is a great place to visit for anyone interested in shopping, food, history, or culture. Number 9. Visit Greenwich. This is home to the famous Royal Greenwich Observatory, where time begins. Seriously, we're not joking. All time is based on Greenwich Mean Time, GMT, which is this line here on the meridian. You can pay to go to the Greenwich Observatory, and there are a lot of interesting artifacts. And you can take a stereotypical video or picture of you walking along the prime meridian line. You can easily waste a morning here at the Greenwich Observatory, but right next door to it is the Queen's House. Contrary to popular belief, the Queen's House isn't the Queen's house, it's an art gallery. Nothing to do with the Queen. Greenwich can be a pain in the backside to get to using the tube system, so we highly recommend using the boats instead, and it's probably the best way to see the River Thames. Number 10. Experience an afternoon tea. Tea is an important part of British culture, and London is no exception. It's a common drink in London and is often consumed with friends and family as a part of a traditional British meal. An afternoon tea in London is a traditional and quintessentially British experience. Many venues in London offer afternoon tea, but some of the most famous include the Ritz, the Savoy, and Fortnum and Mason. When having an afternoon tea, you'll be served a selection of sandwiches, scones, and clotted cream and jam, and pastries or cakes. The tea itself is typically served in a fine china tea set, and you'll have a choice of different types of tea. Some venues also offer a glass of champagne as an addition to the experience. During the afternoon tea, you'll be seated in an elegant and sophisticated setting, with live piano music or a harpist to add to the ambiance. To fully experience the British tradition, it's recommended to dress elegantly and arrive around 3 p.m., the traditional time for afternoon tea. It's important to make a reservation in advance, as many venues are quite popular and fill up quickly, especially during peak season. Also, some places offer different packages, such as luxury or themed afternoon tea, so it's always good to check what's available. An afternoon tea in London is a delicious experience and a wonderful way to relax, unwind, and indulge in a bit of luxury while taking in the beautiful surroundings. Enjoyed the video? Now watch this one.